You've made one step forward because you actually thought of it, you assigned a feeling, you took action by calling, talking to him, and so your feedback at this point, in that action, are you on the right track? Did you get what you wanted, or no, you're not?
Yeah.
So in this case, you're on the right track, because look at you. You're not angry with him.
No.
You're not mad at him.
No.
So the new feeling is probably you're in a hopeful condition, or maybe satisfied, or you see what I'm saying?
I understand that.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's a positive reaction.
You already, so you acknowledged your current condition because you recognized you did it. You went back, you created the whole new step, and then you acted it out.
Yeah.
So you already used this. That's the power of the process.
Wow.
We just don't know we're doing it.
Yeah.
I want to make people aware that we're doing it.
Yeah.
But by you going back to him, you flip that ant. But here's the more powerful thing. See, the next step is just flipping the ant. It's not taking action. It's just flipping.
Just not. But before I got to that burst point, because that's why you say, I get to it quicker.
Yes. It's no. The thing is, you're in the more of a reactive state because of that ant at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But the more time you catch it in your head, well, how would I flip it? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, or whatever.
Yeah.
In your head.
Yeah.
You don't have to go act it out.
Yeah.
But you did. You acted out the prediction. Because remember, I said you always have to acknowledge where you are, and then create new steps to improve a better outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the prediction. But you did the whole step. You did all of it. Not only that you had a feeling, a thought, you assigned a feeling, you took action, and your actions are calling him, talking to him. You say, hey, there's nothing about it, this and that, and you had this outcome.
Yeah, and
like
how does I feel? Yeah.
You improved your own communication, and so the feedback answers the questions. Yeah, I got exactly what I wanted. Because there isn't no on the right track because you already got the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You called him and talked to him. If you had, say, called and left a message or text him, he hasn't responded back. Those are your actions. You haven't got an outcome yet.
But
right?
Yeah.
But by you following through the whole thing,
I know. Yeah.
you did all
I just didn't
of
realize
it.
that. Yeah.
And you did it. You just didn't predict what could happen. You actually just went with it. You followed it.
Oh yeah, because I was in my mind. I gotta call this dude today. I just gotta call it because it was on my head. That,
yes.
I didn't like the feeling that I was in.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
And I wanted to have a different feeling for myself.
Which reflects the thinking.
Gotcha. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And that's what Blaine, the kid that said he was going to come with me to the thing.
Yeah.
That's what he got out. He noticed that his thought, feeling, and actions didn't match.
Yeah, because I felt better after I called him.
Yes.
Immediately after I called him.
And it went up probably to hope. Or somewhere up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Joyful expectation, probably based on the way you're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's somewhere between hope and joyful expectation, and probably a little higher than that.
Okay.
Because hope is like you wanting something to happen, but you've already passed that. You've actually gone up a little higher.
Huh.
You're probably more in the gratefulness, love area, maybe.
That's pretty high out there.
Joy, yeah, it is. So you're up in, probably between excitement and happiness.
Yeah.
Versus down here.
Oh yeah. And I was a little bit worried that I, upset them.
That's what the ants do. The ants live in here. The ants live in here. Not necessarily here, but they start with boredom.
Mm-hmm.
Calm is like this neutral ground. And you'll see when I give you the staircase, the emotional staircase that I built.
Okay.
It's the going down two sets of stairs like in a building. You go down the first step, there's a platform, and you go down to the next step, there's a platform. It's like that.
Okay.
So when you're going down the stairs and you land on calm, that's the platform. You have a choice. It's either go back upstairs or go downstairs. And if you keep going downstairs in the basement, you know where you're going. So, that to me is a good analogy. I gave it. I created this like a couple months ago, but I just handed it out to Dana, the client that's been with me for a while.
Yeah.
She looked at that. She she was amazed. She's like, you don't know how much this helps me. I said, I know, but you have to be in the right place, the right time to get it, because you've been doing it, you've been using it, you've been, you know what I mean? So it's integrating and increasing your understanding and level of understanding when you get the pieces in the right. Remember that little bit of data and a little bit of doing. A little bit of data and a little bit of doing.
Okay.
You can't. I'm not going to do what schools do.
Yeah.
Just
overwhelm you.
Yes.
And
Yes. So that's why I give you a piece at a time, because I want you to give you the piece and go do the piece. Right. So that's where we're at today. So when we put the video on, we'll go through the acknowledgement stage, because that's the first. You kind of told me a little bit about it, but it's the sessions. When we come back for a session, the feedback's always first.
Okay.
Always, because it's the last step in the process. So we want to know how that's going.
A little bit easier for me too, because then that's the first thing on my mind.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't want that. We want that immediate need or that immediate thought to be acknowledged. We want it to be able to say, oh, okay, now I'm ready to receive. Because we're always in this thinking state, this doing state, and then we have to receive. We don't receive enough. So you have to, before you can actually make a new change, you have to receive. Before a new change, you have to receive.
Okay.
You can't just change. I'll come, and not ever get acknowledged about it.
Sure.
You have to be in harmony. These steps are all in harmony together. So you have to harmonize with the feedback component. That's why our sessions always, I don't like to use absolute words, but with me, always means feedback comes first. Before we might talk and socialize and blah, blah, blah in the beginning. But when we actually start, feedback is always first.
Okay.
Always first. And then we can start moving forward from there and see how, based on the feedback, what we got.
Okay.
And then because that's sort of, the feedback is like, the feedback and the acknowledgement of that, it's like, you're standing on that stone, you just made a path, and you're standing on a stone, but there's not one in front of you yet. And the feedback, when you're ready to, when you get that stone in your hand, you get the feedback. You're like, oh, good, I'm ready. And you put the stone down. Then you step forward, and the stone's down. And then you go do, and you get back. You come back with the feedback, and oh, I got that stone in my hand. Oh, I put it down. See that? And before you know it, you're like, man, that stone trail's a mile long.
Yeah.
But you have to look back.
Yeah.
Too. That's the feedback. You gotta look back and like, damn, man, look at that.
That's
holy smokes!
I did
look
that
at
with
that.
my office. I started to, I don't know, it was a couple months ago, but I put up photos of all the clients that I've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
And because I'm working in my own home and I didn't have any people coming in, and I said, this motivates me. Because I can look back and see all of these things, and now when people stop by my house, they look at the wall and they're like, wow, this is pretty phenomenal, Kev. You got all of this. And it makes me feel good. But it does.
Because you're raising your own emotional state. You know, the thing is, I'm just texting my wife.
Sure.
She drove me here.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, because we were at 12:15 now.
Okay.
And I have until about 1.
Okay.
That way I can get down to Detroit.
Okay. So that's what, I'm eager to share my wisdom with those who want to receive. That's I don't share it if they're not ready to receive.
Sure.
Because it's pointless. They just they're just pointless. And I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time. I consider it wasting time, but it's just like they're just not ready. It's not right or wrong. Unfortunately,
Makes sense.
it's
Makes sense.
It's nothing personal.
No.
It's just when you're ready, it is, and you just happen to find people that you'd be surprised how many people are ready. There are quite a few in the big crowds, you know, but it's just finding them, and then they're being in a place. You could scale the readiness factor. You know, you could 0 to 100. Where are you on that scale? I'm actually developing one right now, the readiness factor scale, but I'm color coding it. But it's 1 to 10. So it goes from red, and then it's sort of like actually follows this. So it's like red, and it goes all the way to green in a sliding.
Yeah, 10 back down to 9 or 1.
So 10 would be green, dark green, and red would be 0.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Just tell me. First impulse, put a line on the thing. Where are you? And that will tell me if you're not, if you're not in like, you got to be up in this mild green section to be ready.
Okay.
Calm is like right on the doorstep. Like, you know what? You have to finally admit, I am ready. You have to verbally say it.
Okay.
Not just think it.
Okay.
See, thinking is like right on this line between boredom and calm. It's on the line. You're not in calm yet. You're like, the one you cross it is like, then you think about it, you marinate it on it, you massage it for a while, and finally, okay, I'm ready. You have, because what? Speaking it makes it real.
Okay.
It's in your head, it isn't.
Because
yes.
It's still the feeling still.
Yes.
Okay.
When you speak it, you created the words. You use your abdominal muscles to push out the air through your vocal cord. I mean, there's a lot of physical things that are happening when you actually physically create. You can keep saying in your head, but eventually it will manifest in actions if you dwell on long enough. It will. I don't know when, but it will. And that's the key thing is about the first step is I know they're going to change. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to pick it up.
Sure.
I don't know when they start picking it up, when they start looking at it, I can tell you they're going to change. They will.
I went from having the book, the guide actually, on my coffee table. And then you can see now this week I have a folder. Because I've taken it and I've done it like homework. And I put it next to my nightstand, and I'm like, okay, let me go through this.
Well, that's
and I'm starting to implement because my mind is one of those I need to know. And so I'm trying to absorb it all in because I want to get to that point where I'm identifying the ant like that. Because I know it's coming faster because a couple times this week and just our last session from last week. And that's why I told you I was poor on the counter, but I was consciously saying, that's the feeling. I thought about that. Okay, what do I need to do? And what kind of outcome do I want to have? But I had to move it away from just sitting there to picking it up. I read through the book a little bit more. I still haven't gotten to the point where I'm dialing it in. I said, I gotta get like Giuseppe where he has this in his car and he's pulling it out and I'm gonna get there. But I'm taking my steps. And that was my step this week was, okay, because I wrote these 3 things out and I told you when we spoke on the phone. I think one of these 2 might not be here, but I know jumping's there. The emotional reasoning, I was talking to that about over the holiday on Monday with people and talking in not specific terms, but telling them exactly why I want to change this and how I said, and I told you guys are going to realize it. I'm not going to tell you about this. You're just going to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where
that's where the
my
power
goal is.
That's where the power is. Because people are going to notice, hey, what are you doing that's different? What are you doing that? And there's, words, no words are just as powerful as a lot of words, right? Listen, I'm using this first step. If you're interested, here's that foil card. Look it up. Because you're offering them a solution versus stuff that is just there.
Well,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they see it in you. So It doesn't mean that however you're applying the first step. The key thing is they're going to apply it in a way that matters to them.
Yeah.
And then that changes the way they think and behave, which in turn, hey, what are you doing? Hey, here's the first wheel, your first step. I'm using this. You don't have to explain how it helps. They already see it.
Sure.
If someone ever questions me, and I know it's coming, like, where did I get this idea? And I said, listen, my understanding of the psychology theories is right here. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. This is what I understand, Mm-hmm. Beyond this, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because it's a physical representation of what? My understanding. This is my outcome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So why do I have to explain it? Sure. I don't. Mm-hmm. If you want to poo-poo it after you buy it, poo-poo it after you've used it, and then poo-poo it if you can. Okay, if you can.
But that was my initial reasoning about when in my testimonial. I said initially I felt that I was okay. I didn't need to improve, and then the more I opened the book and the guide and I started reading and figuring out, hey, I can improve a lot. Why not? Too was another thing on my head. But the initial thought was to help out people I knew. Yeah. And that's that.
Well, just write that. Mm-hmm. Just write when you're talking. Mm-hmm. That's all I need. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Because see, you don't know how powerful your intention behind that really is. Because the initial intention wasn't for you.
Yeah, agree.
But it drew you in.
It did.
That's the power.
Yeah.
That's what I want to convey. That to me is not I want to convey that you're actually experiencing is the power for you. That is because you started that way that it has a higher influence. That's the difference. And I think to me, if you were just to say that, you don't have to try to formulate it. You're saying exactly what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And that is what I want. That's the authenticity.
Okay.
You don't have to try to, this great prose. No. I just want authentic. Authenticity. Mm-hmm. This is why I got it. This is how I felt. I was helping a friend out, and then I started opening. I realized, like, holy smokes, you know what? It's me. I realized I need it.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Because
less is more, too.
Subversively, you were looking. Because why? You were ready. Mm-hmm. You just used a different sort of blinder to get you there. And that's how we do stuff.